This episode of the Long Run Podcast is sponsored by Skechers. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Sick House here in Broxbourne. Yes, I'm under the weather, and I'm going to be miserable for the next. What do you mean, shaking? No, I'm not going to be miserable. I might be. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I could be. So you're in the laps of the gods tonight because it's going to go one way or the other. I'm either going to lose my temper and get annoyed with a lot of people, or I'm going to be
do that.
Joyful bliss. Anyway, how is everybody doing? We've got a packed show tonight. Packed show. But we've got the A team in. We've got Wilco up there.
Hello, everybody.
I've got Jatilla over there with the dogs. And we'll come on to that. And then the old boys there.
Why have you got to be offensive already? Everyone else there's Wilco, there's Jatilla.
Cool. Who rattled his cage?
You are old. What's that?
Who rattled his cage?
I know. He's just started. I know why, but I'm not allowed to say why. Anyway. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this award-winning podcast. You're all welcome to join us on this ride over the next 60 minutes. We are recording this live. We fly by the seat of our pants. We've got no script. We don't care. We're just going to wing this, as always. And tonight we're going to be talking about running clubs because we made a big announcement this week, and we wanted to touch on that. We wanted to bat away some of your questions. We wanted to get your input. We wanted to talk a little bit about that, and we wanted to talk, I would say, what's the best word? What's the word for going backwards? Retrospectively. There we go. We're going to look back a little bit because we've reached a couple of milestones. I thought it's worth taking stock where we are right now. Now, this is not going to be the Appreciation Association for 40 runs. I'm just pre-warning you, okay? But it is going to be a little bit of, this is how far we've come. This is the sort of stuff we're doing. But also we want your input in terms of what we do going forward. We're going to throw that out to you. We're going to have some discussions about that. We're going to hopefully keep you entertained, to keep you company on your run if you listen to this as a podcast. But I've got to do some admin, do some intros as always. So firstly, we've got to give a big shout out to our sponsors at Skechers. We appreciate them for supporting 40 runs and this award-winning podcast over the last 200 and something episodes. Get over to skechers.co.uk. I also want you to go over to Start Fitness and continue to smash the life out of them. I want you to go on there and I want you to buy everything so they run out of stock. Use the code 40 runs. You're going to get a cheeky little discount. But just go on there and hammer them and just take as much stock as they've got. And by the way, you get free socks. Just putting that out there. You get free socks if you buy a pair of shoes. And what's mad, that's how much I like, I'm going off on one here. That's how much I like the guys at Start Fitness. When they send me shoes out to review, I still get the free socks. How cool is that?
How big is the lockup that they've got in Newcastle that's full of socks?
I know, but
they must have millions of pairs of socks.
And if you've not tried, I'm going to give those socks a shout out. Well, they're more mile, aren't they?
More miles.
Yeah, more miles. Honestly, I don't think in terms of value, you can't beat them. And they're not paying me to plug it. They couldn't give a monkeys. I'm telling you now, those socks are brilliant. Just for, general wear and tear and all that sort of stuff. Right. That's that done. Next up, on Monday, live stream, I've got Aubrey from Aubrey is Running. He's been all over social media. He's like social media's best friend at the moment. If there's a running event going on, someone's invited Aubrey. Anyway, he's my mate. He's coming on Monday. We're just going to talk about running shoes. I could give a monkeys about all the other stuff he's up to. We're just going to talk about running shoes, all right? And he's going to love it, and he's going to be great. So make sure you tune in. That's 8 o'clock live. We still need your race reviews. Don't forget them. And questions, Wilco. Where do they email?
They email longrunshow@gmail.com.
Thank you very much. And we've got some guests coming up. And Kieran, who's coming on, don't worry, partner. We're going to be on at the same time. Okay? If I can, I'm going to get you around here to do it live with me in my house. All right? But we'll work on it. All right? So that's coming. And I had some good news today by Kimmy. I don't know if I meant to tell you, but she's doing a little bit of running. You had her on the other week. She'd done a shoulder, was it? I think it was a shoulder.
Yeah, she fell over and cracked her.
Done a little bit of running. So that's good to hear, Kimmy. And I will respond to your email. Well, I get a sec. So that's that. All right. Get in the comments. Get in your questions about the announcement that we made. I will touch on that exactly what we made. Anything you want to ask about this coaching question, where you want to know, why Hayden's looking a bit perky tonight. I don't think he's been on the sunbed. If you want to know where Tortilla's been up the top, or if you want some racing tips off a Wilco, stick them in. But I'm telling you now, you won't get them. Last thing, can I just thank everybody for all the love from the Ocean, pronounced it wrong again, Mulligan's Fitness special we did. If you've not listened to that, right, or watched it on the YouTube, and I don't care about, views and all this sort of stuff. Hopefully we don't have by now, you know that. But it's genuinely an absolutely brilliant 45 minutes, 60 minutes. If you're interested in weight loss, fat loss, maybe a little bit about social media, that kind of stuff, mental health, we spoke about ADHD. We spoke about pretty much everything. He's a TikTok, YouTube, Instagram sensation currently out there at the moment, but he's just actually a really nice guy.
Chris, could I just mention about that? Because I watched that, and having seen his Instagram posts, which are a bit in your face, a bit effing and jeffing and things like that, sometimes people might not find them their cup of tea, but I wouldn't judge the show on what you see in his flashes on his Instagram, because he was really perceptive. He really gave loads of great advice, gave a great story. The boys are on. I didn't see it, but I just watched it as a punter, and I found it so helpful and really entertaining. So I thoroughly recommend it.
I would recommend it to everybody. So it's there. Crack on, find it. But anyway, that's enough with the plugs and all that stuff. Right. Okay. So Hayden, do you want to tell everybody what we announced this week, and then I'll come on to why we're going to talk about it?
Well, yeah, obviously, if you are not in the Facebook, Instagram, or even the running world, you won't even know that this week we announced that 40 Runs has entered into a supportive partnership with Brooks Running UK, which is, for some people, they're Brooks. But when you look into it and you realise everything that Brooks stands for with their ethos and where they want to go, their goals, their vision, it just falls in line with 40 Runs so much, just works hand in hand. So to be able to pull this off and to get this together and collaborate together is absolutely massive. And there's just the opportunities that are coming both our ways are just going to be off the scale. And this really is. I know people think Chris maybe hyped this up saying we're changing the future of running.
Yeah.
You're going to see. You're going to see over the next 12, 24, 36 months, things are changing, and they're changing for the better. And we've got Brooks alongside holding our hand, guiding us through this, and literally it is absolutely epic. It really is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, so just to take people back 8 or 9 months, just to give them a little bit of background. So when let's go further back, right? And again, we're going to look back and we're going to look forward, okay? And again, I really much want your input on some other stuff later, right? So bear with us on this, okay, tonight. Bit of a slow burner. But, I started this 40 Runs running club. Yeah, 40 Runs 6 years ago, whatever it is. And the whole point of it was to bring everyday runners. Now, I love the fact that I see that bandied about by everybody now. Big brands are using that slogan. It's great because I've trademarked it, so I might just slap them all with a trademark. But, even I see like the National Running Show podcast that we wasn't invited on, they're using that terminology, okay? And it's interesting because my original ethos was to bring all of us together. Because as you know, the story, where I was sitting on my own in London. And to start that, and then we had the desire from within to start an affiliated running club. And a running club then started. And then that grew. And then we said to ourselves, right, we'll do the affiliated, but why we, people don't necessarily want the affiliation. So let's offer free membership as well, social memberships, so you can still be part of it, still be a part of the journey, still feel like you belong to the tribe, and you don't have to pay anything. Yeah, so we don't want any barrier to entry. So straight away, a large part of a lot of running clubs is that you pay a fee and you pay a sub, which is great. I've got no problem with that, right? No problem at all. There's like ones in London where you pay 55, 65 quid to be part of that, and that money goes, to wherever they want it. That's great. No problem with that whatsoever. But it was to take that barrier away, because not everybody wants to pay that. They might want that just to touch the club in a certain way, whether it's because they're a social runner or they're a solo runner. They might want to do a bit of virtual, or they want to come along to the physical aspect. So we try to remove that barrier. We also tried, and most importantly achieved, removing the barriers of being told too slow, you're too fat, you're too this, you're too that, you can't do this, you can't do that. And intimidating people going along. Not all clubs are like this, by the way, but in general, you know, getting told like Marissa, you're never going to run a marathon. You won't ever be able to run a marathon. Then she went out and ran 5 of the world majors. How do you feel now, by the way? You know, and there's that, or going along and being told you've got to go and run with those people because they're your pace. All that sort of stuff. Again, it's quite intimidating, isn't it? Oh, they're all turning up in there. I nearly said the names, Hayden, but I listened to what you said before we went on to this. But a certain brand of vest, you know, on the start line and all that sort of stuff. You know, that can be putting a lot of people off. So we wanted to get rid of my big dream was to remove all of that. So as runners, right, because we're all doing it for our own reasons, lose weight, mental health, whatever, right, something to do because we don't like being at home. Whatever it is, right, it was that point that you could still get together with those other people like you, and there was no reason to stop doing that, like not being able to do that. And then to be able to talk to somebody 6-9 months ago, a big brand, which is one of the biggest brands in the world in terms of running, and they go, yeah, we agree with all that. We think that's brilliant. That's exactly aligned with what we're doing. That is exactly aligned with where we want to be in X, Y, and Z years. That's exactly why we partnered up with Parkrun. And to see the ethos of which I stand by and what everybody else I think stands by as part of the family, to have a brand go, you know what, you're right. It's pretty awesome. And it's cool because I like it also, the fact that we aren't getting paid by Brooks at all. Not a penny. I think it's brilliant to turn around and go, we've got a brand deal, but we're doing it for free. Because that is everything that it says about us. Because we don't care about that. We only care about bringing people together like we do across the country. Not just me. I'm like this. It's all you guys all coming together, whether it's in Great Dunmow or at whatever half marathon the guys are doing in Colchester, whatever that is at the weekend. You know, all that sort of stuff is so awesome to see, and then get a brand behind you like that and go, yeah, we like that. We're going to help you take that across the UK. How awesome is that, Wilco?
It's brilliant. And it's great to get the support of something to sort of like trumpet what we're doing. I think it's been such a, you know, it's played such a big part in my life in sort of like the last 3 or 4 years being a member of the club. I think sometimes you always, with these things, you always need a bit of good fortune and you have to be in the right place at the right time. And I think it's no coincidence that it really expanded out of lockdown and COVID, and that everybody, you know, it became a focus for people who wanted to run and were on the in the community. And it's been a great advert for all the best things about social media. I saw a documentary about Mark Zuckerberg the other day, the Facebook founder, and he was talking about when he launched groups about how he wanted it so people with the same interests can get together and be part of communities and things like that. Consequently, it all went pairs and it got hijacked by loads of people with sort of like bad means and that. But we are, as a group, have been the embodiment of that. And it's great that it's lovely to see when people with big influence within the sport and within the game recognize that you're going in the right direction and you're doing good things. So I think everybody has to be congratulated for what's going on. And we'll see what happens with it. I mean, it's difficult, I suppose, Chris, you know, to turn it on his head to know exactly what's going to go on and how this is going to sort of like benefit.
We could talk about that.
Benefit the membership.
Yeah, so we could talk about that. So again, just to be absolutely clear, right, because I don't think some people got it from the statement that was put out from the club. This is separate, right? This is the running club. So within the world of 40 runs, yeah, the running club is separate. It's got a committee and it does its own thing, right? But yeah, I'm on the committee because I'm coach on the committee. But the committee is its own thing, right? And the club is its own thing. So this is between the club and Brooks, right? So if you go on the club's social media, you'll see Brooks on their profile, on the bio. If you go on mine, you won't see that because it's not linked to what I do. I'm free to do whatever I want. I'm free to upset anybody, which I will spend a lot of time and effort doing. So I'm free to go and carry on. This will continue to be sponsored by Skechers because it's not linked. Yeah, it's two different things. What I do, I'm free to wear what I want, say what I want, and do what I want, basically. What Brooks has partnered up with is the running, and the vision is to help support that and grow that in and around the whole country. So not just like places in London and that. We are focused on growing all over the country. So it doesn't matter if you're in a tiny village in the middle of nowhere, you can still join the Global Running Club. And you can still come out on a Monday and a Wednesday and do a session that will probably break you. But you could be part of that. Or you may be in a trail running, you could join the trail running crew. Or you might have a race. You might go, you know what? This anxiety is absolutely killing me. But you know what? I'm going to beat that. And I'm going to sign up for a 10K and I'm going to do a run through event. And you know what? Your chances are you'll pop along there and somebody's going to be in a 40 runs top. Right. So that's the sort of thing. That's where it's key and that's where it goes. So that kills that. I've just seen a question about will the Brooks branding be on the clothing? No, it's not a brand deal. It's not like that. As I said to you, they are purely a supportive partner of helping us grow the club. Like, for example, you don't see Brooks branding on a park run top. It's the same sort of thing. Think about it like that, Mick. And I think that's the key. But as a member, you're going to get more events, more initiatives, lots of obviously opportunities to do like the shoe try-ons, things like that. Someone was asking about a Brooks code. You guys, you can already get 10% off of Brooks. Just go to Start Fitness. Start Fitness sell more Brooks shoes than anybody else in the world, I think, probably. So you could go and get 10% off of them already. I don't know what you've been waiting for. There's 10% off now. Go and get it. And they've got a load of stuff on there for cheap anyway. So you're going to get even better value. So use the code there. So that's what I'm saying to you. It doesn't make any sense.
Sorry, Chris, can I just say something?
Yeah.
I saw today on Instagram, because there was after the announcement, I started following Brooks Running on Insta to see what they were up to and things. And they were doing an interview with a girl who was talking about how she got into park run and how she liked doing a sort of, I would imagine, is that the sort of thing that we're going to be doing with the club, that they're going to be publicising that thing, so like chatting to members and talking about it and things like that?
Yeah, if people want to, if people are happy to get involved in that sort of thing, great. We tell our story. This is the thing. This is now giving us a platform in which we can now go out and tell our story about everyday runners. Yeah, people like you here, people like Marissa, people, Justin in Southend, anybody in the club, in the community. To tell the stories that are amazing stories that are about real people, to hopefully that will then inspire other people who have been put off by joining a running club or community in the past because they think, again, too slow, too fat, too this, too that, or whatever barrier they've decided they can't afford it to put in front of them. We remove that instantly because we've set up, Hayden, 40 groups locally, just off the top of my head, right?
That's the thing. We've got 40 at the moment, and the idea of this as well is the working with Brooks is people might be asking the question now, well, why are you partnering with a brand if there's no finance involved? What have you got to gain from it? This is about telling the world, telling the UK what we do, what our aims are, and Brooks have got that obviously by naturally one of the biggest running clubs one of the biggest running brands in the world. So they've got that platform where they can tell people about us. So that's what works for us. And one of the big barriers as well within the UK, this isn't a bad one at all, is the fact that a lot of people live in areas where there isn't running clubs, or they can't get to running clubs, or their running clubs don't work on their day, even if they want to go there. So the idea of Brooks as well is to show people that we are creating these satellite groups. So if you are in a local village right now and you're listening to this, and there's 2 other people in your village that run, or maybe 3 other people, get together. This is what we want to do. We want to get groups together all over the UK so we can get people running together and eventually link them up. We've got 40 clubs at the moment. I'm hoping in 2 years' time we'll have 400 clubs. If we can get everyone in the UK at least one night a week, even if you run for a club on a Friday night at this elitist club that are really fast, fair play to you. Then on Tuesday night, you might want to go and do a social run with your mates in the local village and finish up at a pub and have a beer, or just have a chat or have a cup of tea afterwards. It doesn't matter about the ability, the pace. We want to create these clubs. We want to create these social environments and groups for people to get together, enjoy running, get fit, and also spread it to other people. If you're a really good runner, take the lead. And maybe share your experience, share your knowledge. Say to someone else, do you know what? We've got people in the 40 runs community that are fantastic runners and they're giving up their time. And they're thinking, do you know what? We've got to go back. We keep mentioning, Marissa, got Helen as well. They thought, do you know what? I'm going to give up my time and run 2 sessions on a Monday for Couch to 5K.
Brilliant.
This has got nothing to do with money. This has got nothing to do with self-awareness. She doesn't want followers on Instagram. She doesn't want to get money, branding or anything. She just wants to give up her time to see these people in 9 weeks' time run 5K. And that is rewarding in itself. So all you people out there doing this running, get involved, help us out. Let's spread that word and just show everyone in the UK exactly what we're doing, because Brooks get it, and now everyone is going to start to get it.
And again, we disrupt. But I had a call today. I won't say who, but we was talking about our lead satellite. And the best part about that was brought up in that conversation was how everybody actually likes to go and have a cup of tea in the stadium afterwards. That's the best bit. I mean, that's how awesome it is, because it's not about, I just done 800 meter repeats at a PB time of 5K and I'm now qualified for the Olympics. No one gives a monkeys. What time's the kettle going on, love? I mean, that's what it's all about. Do you know what I mean? It's that connectivity. Yeah. It's that social element. It's that supportive element. It's bringing people together of all abilities, someone with autism to a 2.5 hour marathon runner, bringing them all together and using running for well-being. How awesome is that? And now Brooks turn around and go, you know what, guys? I think you're onto something. Yeah. What do you think, Jatila?
Like, it's just mesmerizing listening to all of this, because I've obviously come into the community a little bit later than all of you guys. And although that I know, what I want to just have for people to understand is, like, before Brooks, like, you've got to think of all of these different people that you come across. Like, the amount of times before I even knew really about the community or knew about the running club, I would see everywhere, Pink Top, 40 Runs Running Club. I want to volunteer. I want to do this. I even had Hayden's phone number in my phone as Hayden Volunteer before I even knew who Hayden was, because he had volunteered with me before with 40 Runs. Like, you guys were everywhere. And I think the fact that Brooks are now able to just support this and show this, you've done the hard work. You've done some incredible work already. Like, this is only going to grow because people are now seeing the support that you've now got and what you're doing. And Brooks is seeing that. Do you know what I mean? Like, did you think that would happen sort of 6 years ago?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I'll be
and
now, listen, this was a pipe dream. It's all about, for me, legacy, right? I always say that I'm a small cog in all of this, and I genuinely mean that, because none of this happens without everybody doing it. Alan, Carolyn, what they do with Extreme Park Run, you know, Mel on volunteering, Kim just smashing out social media for the last however many years she's been doing it. Hells Bells, Nettie, every single person. Dave Turner, who made me absolutely nearly wet myself with excitement when he turned up with about 15 people this week in Sheffield. You know, it's just so amazing to see all these people now taking that ethos that I just simply wanted to bring people together, because I was sitting there riddled with anxiety on the verge of a panic attack at the London Marathon. And now to see that, but also, you know, again, because I'm a bit naughty, I'm a bit of a vigilante. I don't like to see these clubs turn around and go to. That annoys me. You can't. You've got to run with the kids. You've got to go and run with your B team. I think to myself, hang on a minute, that's a bit strong. I don't like that. So as soon as I hear that, that immediately goes to me, right, I'm going to do something about that, because that's not right. Why should you be restricted on what you can and can't do in terms of your well-being and mental health? If you want to run and you think, actually, I best probably go to a running club, my local running club, because I need that accountability. But you turn up there and you're absolutely just like blown out of the water because everybody's just, you know, this and this. And again, I'm not having a go at traditional running clubs. I think they serve a very good purpose, right? But some of them, it's a bit strong. So and when I hear that got me a bit upset. So that's why I said, right, we've really, truly got to do something about this. And I also appreciate the solo runner. I love the solo runner who's, I don't know, give you an example. He's a dad. He's looked himself in the mirror in the morning and thought, oh, Christ, I've got to do something about this. A bit like myself, really, actually, thinking about it.
I was going to say, you're talking about yourself.
Yeah, and it is. But you're like, right, I have not got time to do any exercise. And I've got no motivation to go to the gym. Listen to that podcast we did. But you know what? I've got an old crap pair of trainers back there. I reckon I could do a couple of miles, right? And that's it. And that's his thing. But he just loves being out there. He loves being free. Loves having the headspace to sort it all out in his mind, what's going on. Just loves that 30 minutes to be out. But he doesn't want to go down to a track or go along and do hill repeats or any of that sort of thing. He just goes out and listens to Bruce Springsteen as he's running along. And the E Street Band. See what I did there, Wilco? But my point is, why can't he belong to a club? Why can't he get the support? Because now the world's changed because of COVID. Why can't he get that guidance? Why can't he get that love? Why can't he ask those questions that we all want to? And
I think as well, it's key that it comes. Thinking of joining a running club comes at a key point in your running development, because you go through that scenario of your the gentleman you've just talked about, I was that person. It's exactly the same. But if you get to, you get keen and you start going to the park run and things like that, and I'm quite liking this running. It's going well. I think I'll go to the running club. If you get to that point and then you have a bad experience at that running club,
Wilco,
you're just going to dip.
I've got to cut in here because this is almost like, obviously I know it's not set up, but this is just unbelievable. There's a message here from Michael Eaton. It's just a message saying, just the past week, my local running club have messaged me to say I wasn't allowed to enter any more of their races as I'm too slow and to get fitter and faster. Try again next year. Honest to God, we don't even need to carry on the podcast. There you go.
Has anyone got a mic I can drop?
Unbelievable.
Drop the mic.
Literally a genuine viewer that to be fair to him, Michael, I haven't really had contact with you before. Not sure you are. You've just come on tonight and you've just demonstrated exactly why
we end the podcast here.
What we do. Look at that. Honestly,
that's it. We're done. Awful. We're done. Thanks, Brooks. Thanks everybody for listening. Michael's just ended the show.
Terrible.
No, I know. I'm being serious. That's what it's all about, and that's where we step in, and that's why I was bigging it up because we genuinely are changing the landscape. There is a reason why these clubs, right, are changing what they're doing. They're changing their methodology. They're telling everybody that they're ultra inclusive. Obviously, they're not, because Michael's just given us a good example. There's a reason they're changing their pricing models. There's a reason why they're looking at us and going, these guys are just a bunch of clowns. That's why we don't get the respect that we deserve at certain events and shows. And, again, I alluded to it before, with the National Running Show podcast. We absolutely took over that place. Did we get an invite on that podcast? No. Why is that? Because we're a disruptor. And this is the thing. They don't take us seriously. But by having somebody come on and go, you know what, guys, we really get what you're on about, then they have to sit back and go, actually, you know what? I think these people are actually doing some good. And that's all we want. We just want to reach as many runners in this country as we can and share that you don't have to be a certain speed or run a certain distance or even do much running really to be part of, because you can volunteer. Look at how amazing volunteers we send. I mean, Jatila, you've done it, haven't you?
It's honestly the best thing that I've ever done. And if it wasn't for Mel, because I remember I was really sort of injured and I thought I'd be like, oh, let me just have a look at what some volunteering is like. Mel got me on board within seconds. She was in my DM. She was messaging me. She gave me all the links. She gave me everything I need because I didn't know the platforms. She hooked your girl up, and she literally, I've gone back and I will keep signing up and signing up and signing up for all of these key events. Like if you're not running them, or if you're not even really in the mood for running this sort of year, like a lot of people are in different parts of their training, go and do some volunteering. I met some incredible people that I now see on a week-to-week basis, and they're my friends. It's like, oh, okay, we're going to go for a coffee after, or oh, okay, I'll run round with you. Let's go and do some of this at the end. Let's go maybe get our phones out, do some scanning at the end. Like it's honestly changed my view completely on running clubs, because I've never really been in a running club as close knit as this. Like coming from a sprinting background, running clubs for me were, if you weren't in the quickest 3 of your group, you're not going to be in the race. Do you know what I mean? So you're automatically being set back. So when I started exploring running in clubs and started volunteering and doing this, and it was like, wow, so this is what I've been missing out on after like all this time. Just the social aspect has changed so much for me from a running perspective as well, because I was very much a solo runner. I never used to run with other people.
Don't get me wrong, right? I really love traditional running clubs. Where joggers around here are brilliant, okay? They have a place, and some of them are amazing. And if you want to be competitive in your sport and all that sort of stuff, honestly, they're brilliant. They are. I'm not going hard on them at all. I really respect them, and I think they do a cracking job. And they also provide volunteers, and they do, a lot of good stuff. They put races on. They raise money for charities. They're really good. Obviously, we've spoken about. Michael's given a good example there of one that's not right. So it's horses for courses, isn't it? But I'm not trying to paint a bad picture of traditional clubs. What I'm trying to say is that we're just trying to do something we have done something. Sorry, we should now talk in a different way. We have done something that's different to the norm. We have broken down those barriers. And you could say, because like we had it from a guy at England Athletics, oh, you're just one of them virtual clubs. No, we ain't, mate. I'm sorry, mate. We ain't. We've got 40 local groups. We've got a virtual club as well, but we've got a trail club as well. So no, we're not just one of those virtual groups, the whole landscape has changed. And I ain't being big-headed, but we changed that, right? And that's where I go back to that point about being a disruptor. I might make you all laugh with it instead of being this influencer. Can't stand the term. We're a disruption. And that's good because it means that we can touch more runners across the country and they can feel like, you know what, I've just done part run. Now what do I do? Well, actually, you can come along to 40 runs and you can just log on to the Facebook and be involved. You can just follow the Instagram and be involved, or you can go along to one of the local groups or do the virtual group, whatever you want to do. We don't care. And it's, you know, it's entirely up to you how you find it and how you consume it. But you're part of the family and you don't have to wear a shirt. We could give a monkeys about what you wanted to wear. We're talking today about somebody about shirts and stuff. I just said to him, Hayden, you was in the meeting. I just said, I honestly couldn't care less. I just sat there and I just said, you know what? I don't care. You do whatever you want. As long as I get runners and they're coming and they're all abilities, they can dress in anything they like. Hayden, be fair.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely. Well, people might say you're just saying all this for the sake of it and getting likes, but no, look, I was there and you actually said it. So the guy was basically there, and you could have probably said to him, "Do you know what? I prefer if people wore tops and bought tops and stuff." But no, it wasn't that at all. It's like, do you know what? Do whatever you want. This is what I'm going back to with the whole running thing, though. So many running clubs are absolutely brilliant and they're great about it. The thing that we're offering different to a lot of people is the fact that you can be part of another running club. You can run for another running club. You can do what you like at running club. You can be part of our running club as well. Yeah. You don't have to be affiliated. Social member is completely free.
Okay.
Now, the benefits now, and now Brooks on board as well. It's just, everyone, you just got to be nuts not to join up. What's up here?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's that, right? So that's that. We spent quite a bit. I did tell you it's going to be overindulgent tonight. Okay. And I will go on any podcast at any time. Just let me know.
And we're getting lots of love from Aubrey, by the way. I see he's watching.
Yeah, that's because he's coming on Monday. And Aubrey, I told them, we ain't talking about how you're on every event person's YouTube channel, everybody's podcast, mate. You're coming on, boy, because we're getting deep into running shoes, all right? You've got a live audience. You better batten down the hatches, son, because we're going big and we're going deep. I love him. Honestly, if you're not following him, make sure you do. Right, okay. So I said to, that was all the Brooks stuff. And thanks everybody for all the love, all the comments and all that. Again, this is not some sort of let's all love 40 runs night. This is not what we're here for. What we wanted to do was open the forum up and say, you know, guys, this is, you know, ask some questions. Let's get involved. But what I want to do is I want to now. Oh, that's awesome. Atlanta. We need to start. America's next for us, by the way. Yep. We'll probably start in Seattle because Brooks are based in Seattle. So we'll probably start there.
Oh, yeah. We'll be like Starbucks, won't we?
Yeah. $40. Actually, that's not a bad way. I like that. I like Starbucks. And if you want to sponsor the pod, no, we've got one then. Anyway, okay, you caught me off guard. So what I want to do now is I actually want to look forward. So we kind of looked back, said, right, draw a line in that. We're now super awesome. We're now going to take over the world. You're welcome. Now I want to sort of look forward because what I want to know from you guys, because this is interesting, is actually what you want to see on the podcast. Let's put that out there because we had our 200th episode the other week, right? And we kind of just sort of fudged it. Yeah, we played an awesome intro that took me at least 30 seconds to make. But in general, we didn't acknowledge that 200 episodes. That's a lot, right? And I thought to myself the other day, you know, not just about the club and things like that, but also every aspect in what we do, you know, the YouTube channel, everything we do in terms of touch points for our runners across the world now, because Atlanta. What would be better on this podcast? What would be better on this live stream? So if you are watching this live, I want you to start diving into the comments now and giving us some suggestions on what you'd like to see a little bit more of, a little bit less of. Be nice, be gentle.
Keep it clean. Yep.
And don't be too personal.
Yeah, don't go 2-footed on me for being a player. But, you know, open it up in there because we've discussed openly, like, between us as a team, and I'm blessed the fact of we've got a team of amazing people who come on here and share their stories and advice and knowledge. But it's like, you know, we want to get more guests on. But again, I'm not interested. I'm telling you, I know we've got Aubrey, who's a celebrity now because he's like big with all the other running channels and everything. But I genuinely only interested in having real people on. I couldn't care less about anybody who's selling a book. Yeah, we'll do the occasional thing like we did with Ocean and things like that because I find that if somebody connects with me like that on that level, that's fine. But in general, I'm only interested in you guys, okay? As I've always said, come on, hang out and we'd do that. But what do you want to see? Actually, Jatila, what do you think? What would you like to see more of? What would you like to see less of? Where are you at?
Well, I'm just going to hop into a comment that's come up on here, which I think is great. And I really, really like this idea, which is the satellite leader feature. Now, obviously, you've got so many satellite groups, but how many times do those leaders actually communicate or get the chance to chat or get the chance to share ideas or raise things that they've done differently with their satellite group? What are they doing after? What meetups are they doing? Like that, I think, is a really fantastic idea, and I can't see who's put it in because it's just Facebook user.
Well, Ben just mentioned it as well. Actually, Ben just more. You're right, Ben. That's one of the reasons why we said about Kieran coming on, for example, just as an example. And obviously,
it's almost sort of like going back to how it was when we first started, because when we first did it, we didn't know what we were doing. Well, some would argue that we don't know what we're doing.
I was going to say it's a bit strong,
but no, when we were dipping our feet in the water,
when we weren't award winning, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pre-award winning.
Yeah,
we just had our mates on, didn't we? And we just had a natter, and just to coin a phrase of yours, cocked about.
Yeah, we did do a lot of cocking about.
But I'd agree that it has to. I would prefer it to be that we had, the experts. There are so many running podcasts out there. If you want expert advice and all these people would think there's plenty of other places you can go shopping. I think what makes us different is that we're live and no one else is.
No.
And we've got loads of, we've got the opportunity for audience participation. If you type in the box, there's a small chance we might read it out if we actually read it. And I just feel that we could, having a community and talking to people I think people get inspiration from running if they hear stories from people who are like them.
Like Marissa, when we were at the National Running Show, she actually made 3 women cry. One of them was intentional.
Oh. Well, she stood in her foot or something, did she?
She whacked around the end of her handbag. No, I mate, you're right. It's those stories that I think
because everyone's got one, haven't they?
Yeah, but to be fair, Wilco, people are mentioning it. This is not something new to us. We have already put this wheels in. To be fair to us, we have already started this. We knew that that's something that we wanted to do, right? So we try and structure the pod. Right, and I'm using the word structure loosely here, but we try and offer some sort of value to you guys along the lines, right? Now, that can be one week because we're talking about what have we been talking about recently? I can't even remember. But we always try, and if we can, to leave you with something by the end of the show, whether you've listened to it on the run or you've joined in live, to leave you with something that you take away and go, you know what, blah, 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 blah. Whether it's the fact that you've wet yourself laughing, taking a bit of knowledge, or it's made you think twice about eating that dodgy bacon roll before you go out and do your run. Whatever it is, okay? We want to try and do something with that. But also the stories are really important to us. Because a lot, everything we talk about is discussions about the stuff that we've talked about. Yes, we've got people on here who are qualified, but that doesn't mean everything, because as we said when we did the influencer thing, experience counts a long way as well. Yeah. So again, it's those experiences. I saw something about Northern runners. I saw something about that. I'd love to get some Northern runners on.
Well, we have Ben from Watford.
But does the Wi-Fi work up there? We're
north of Watford.
Does Wi-Fi? Do they got internet up where Tony lives? Or is that not even...
To be fair, Tony can't call herself a Northerner. She's from.
Oh no, she's in the Midlands.
We had Tony on anyway.
Yeah, what's she moaning about? We've had her on. It's just a stitch up. No, but on a serious point, yeah, look, that's a great thing. Again, right? It's one of the reasons why Brooks were like, yeah, let's do this, is because we are all over the country. Right? Hayden's just in the middle of starting something in Scotland. So this is not something that we are not aware of. We are particularly proud of the fact that we've got, a satellite group that Jan does in North East. That's the sort of thing that really gets it. And I love the fact, one of my favourite people to watch on the satellite leaders thing is what the guys in Exeter have been up to. There's millions of them turn up every week. They're nutters down there. But I love the fact that we go, Exeter to, all the way, but all the way up the country. But yeah, let's get everybody on. Let's.
Yeah, but we're actually gonna. It's part of a challenge upcoming. There'll be more news released next month. We've actually got a challenge where we're going to get people virtual wise to run from sort of our furthest away club, Exeter, around every single satellite club, right up to the top, up to Hebburn where Jan is. And I know she's listening because she messaged earlier. So Lulu Rob will put it up in a minute. She knows the exact mileage from club to club to club to club. We're going to get people to run it. Just things like that. And this is what we got coming forward as well with other things coming up with the Brooks things. We're going to have challenges. We're going to have competitions. We're going to have promotions. We're just going to do everything we can to make everyone's running experience a lot more fun.
Yeah, be part of the family. It's up and downs in the family, right? That's the way I look at it, right? There's always ups and downs in your family, isn't there? You're always going to have those rows with people. You're always going to get stressed about stuff, and then you're going to have great times and memories that are made, and you're going to, and that's what being 40 runs is all about. Sometimes
we all love each other.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes
sometimes you drive me up the wall, but I still love you, mate. Well,
yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to mean this is the thing, but
Honestly, I'm being serious though. You lot get it easy. I'm not. Don't people feel sorry for me on it. But Joe, I think you get it easy. I get it tough. Come on, let's be honest. We're giving love tonight. I have a tough time like having to deal with you.
Oh, he looks downtrodden right now.
I'm talking to you, obviously.
Oh, to me. Sorry, I was just admiring my Speedo top I can see on the camera. Have you seen it all? Look.
Oh, very good.
He's not here, so I'll put it on for him. Because someone mentioned, I've just seen it, more Speedo. But it's true, though. They're the sort of things. I also like the idea of, have you seen that? Who was it? Somebody mentioned, I can probably put these up on screen. That'd probably be more helpful. This is why you need Tony. Tony, here, look, from Dermot. I was back for 2 hours.
Listen, we can never ever. He's absolutely fantastic. He's amazing. He's so funny, but you can never ever have that man live.
Brilliant.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. We would get taken off the air in about 3 seconds. It's brilliant. But yeah, I mean, look, this is the thing. Keep them coming. And honestly, if you've got like, firstly, as I said, I opened it up the other week. If you want to come on the show, because we've had some people come to us. If you want to come on the show, said to you, like Gary Neville has them on, he sits them down and they have a cup of tea and some croissants. You've got to have your own tea and your own croissants, but you are welcome on the show. All right. Email in to Wilco.
longmanshow@gmail.com.
Yeah, so get in there and we'll figure it out. It might not be straight away, okay?
We might have a bit of a waiting list.
There is, we do try and figure it out, but we will get you on, all right? And we want to talk about it, and we will get these run leaders on, and we will get people from the community. It is something that we're focused on in 2024. It is a key part of.
Can I just say as well to that Facebook user, just put the message in about running a drop-in for women and stuff. Get in touch because there might be things we can help you with. So
and that's the other thing.
Afterwards.
Yeah, we've got get in touch if you want to start a satellite group, right? If you want to get a social group going, if you want to do get involved in helping out because this is a monster now. Get involved. All right, the club's running the professional way, so you've got the committee, you've got to be voted and seconded and 8th or whatever it is, and there's got to be a role for you and all this sort of stuff. But we want people to get involved, right? This is now hopefully going to reach even more people, and we need more people. We need more support to touch as many people's lives as we can, because that's what ultimately that's my aim. Still sitting here as and I like this terminology, the founder. See what I did there, Wilco? As the founder. No, but it's true. I still want to see. I ain't interested in the politics. I'm only interested in how many runners we've helped this week. That's the thing. And I still think Park Run for us is the sort of almost the cornerstone of like one of what we're about. I think when I look at our ethos, and I look at Park Run, and obviously you've got Brooks running between them. I just think, how many run directors we've got within the club, right? How many volunteers, even on the post that Bill put out today about how many people are actually volunteering over the weekend at Park Run. I think that's amazing. And I think that, it's a free weekly social run, right? And walk that you can go along to. And that just brings everything about what we do on a day in the week, and everybody can get together there. You ain't got to pay nothing. You don't have to wear nothing specific. You can wear pair of Crocs, you can walk around barefooted. It don't matter what you do, you know, you can take your kids along. And I think that's where I think, you know, where we're going to try, if we can, and really share even more love. And that's why, again, that's why Brooks was so pivotal for me in terms of what they do. Them getting involved with Parkrun for me really opened my eyes up to them in terms of what they're trying to do. I love the fact that they turn up to Parkrun and give people a chance to try on their shoes for nothing. You can just go out there and ruin a brand new pair of Ghost Max. You can just run around in them, and they don't care. It's like, yeah, try them, have a go. Some people may never ever have an opportunity to try a pair of shoes like that because they simply can't afford it, but they can go on for free, right, at their Parkrun, which is free, and try a pair of shoes like that. That's awesome, isn't it? If you stop and think about it just for 2 seconds, they might not have a pot to pee in. There's no way they can afford the 140 quid to buy a pair of Ghost Max. But you know what? They go out to a Parkrun, they can run around in them for a bit. Isn't that amazing? When you stop and think about it, that is so cool that's there for people to do. I think it's brilliant. And that's why we did what we did. Again, there's no money involved in it. We don't care. We ain't interested in that. Right, so I've got one last thing to get onto because we've only got 14 minutes left. Look at them, you all look nervous tonight. I think I've been well behaved. Apart from one thing I might get in trouble with admin about. Apart from one thing, I've been pretty well behaved tonight.
No, you have been fantastic.
Thank you. So,
impeccable.
Hayden? Yeah, I think I know what he's going to grasp me up on. But I think he's still reeling from the fact he didn't get any love for having to put up with me. I think he's still put out by that, really, to be honest with you. I think that's he got absolutely no sympathy from anybody in the questions, anybody in the comments.
It's a hard one.
They just turn around and go, yeah, we don't give a toss.
Yeah, if you could show a bit of love for Hayden in the last 30
Can
minutes
everybody
in the comments,
please go
that'd
into
be
the
nice.
comments and just don't forget he's got very hairy feet. They're rather large and he's really short. So
What?
can you just
this is a new thing. Hairy feet. This is a new thing. When did this start? The hairy
You're
feet.
a hobbit.
Hobbit.
Right. You're a hobbit. You are the smallest man I've ever seen. So go into the comments and please show him some love because otherwise he's going to get off of it. He's going to be miserable.
Or you can go on to the live show episode, watch that, and you see me standing next to you, and everyone will know we're exactly the same.
No, it wasn't. It was definitely was untrue. You had a box. Anyway, let's move on to the last point. So we've sort of looked back, we sort of discussed the podcast. Interesting thing, and I didn't realise you came up with this because the community was 6 years old. Right? Now, whether you're into Facebook or not, right? I know that Facebook is not for everybody. I know you get a lot of nutters on Facebook, right? And you get a lot of people spamming it, and it's not for everyone. A lot of people have moved off of there. They've gone on to, I don't know. Well, it might just be into Instagram. You know, they get, fed up with Facebook. But we still have a thriving Facebook community, which is just amazing, right? And it's 6 years old. So what I wanted to know really from you guys is, in terms of the community going forward, what do you see like the future of that really? Is there, do you think Facebook's, is the forward? I mean, should I just tell everybody that they now got to go onto an app that I've created with a private equity company and you've all got to move on to there? No, I didn't say any names and create a community on there. Or do you think we should stay on Facebook? Or I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. Community 6 years old. I mean, that's a great thing. I mean, I love it. I love seeing all the I tell you what I love is the pictures of everybody's smiley face. Whether it's some chap I've never met and he's smashing it out and he's just done, I don't know, his first it just brings joy. And I'm not bullshitting for the sake of it. I just love the fact I love seeing those pictures when on my timeline there of everybody. I don't follow nothing else. I've got no other interests other than watching fishing on YouTube, which is now my next addiction. We'll come on to that another time.
You ain't got the patience for fishing.
No, but I like watching it because it's the only thing, right? It's the only thing, like, so for ADHD, they say listen to brown noise. I can't do that. It irritates me. But what I like to do is watch the fishing on the YouTube. For whatever reason, it sort of calms me down for 5 minutes. It's brilliant. It is. It's like brown noise for me. Anyway, gone completely off kilter. So what do you think, Wilco, in terms of the community?
I think it's the great thing about the community is that, I mean, the problem with social media is people are always judged. I mean, you will know yourself better than anybody, that you put yourself out there, you do stuff, and 90% of the feedback I get, what I would imagine would be people slagging you off.
Yeah, they love it.
But on the 40 Runs Facebook group, you don't get that. Somebody just points up, oh, yeah, this is me. I did 6 miles this morning. I've got 3 miles to do tomorrow on my plan. Sun's shining. I'm having a great day. And everybody just likes it and loves it. And, oh, well done, mate. You know, so it's just so full of, it's what social media should be about. It's like an example of how to use Facebook and how it should be. And it's great. And I'm like you. I get distracted. I could do twice as much work during the working day, but I just sit here and I'm flicking through it all the time on my phone. Who's doing what? Oh, yeah, Ben. He's done 12 miles. Yeah. Sort of like, and, you know, oh, Hayden's out again. God, look at them times. God,
They're slow, aren't they? I've noticed he's got a lot slower. He's doing less distance.
And all that sort of thing, you know, and I do it all the time. And it's become a happy place.
Yeah, and that's what it's meant to be. It is meant to be a happy place. Yeah, that's a brilliant way of saying it, actually. It's meant to be a place in which you go onto and it makes you feel happy. Or you go on there to find a little bit out because you've just bought a pair of socks or gels. Or
and then when you marry that up with sort of like bumping into these people and meeting them and stuff, it's great.
Yeah. What about you, Chatilla? Because I might be wrong, but you're not a big FB user, are you?
I used to be because of work. And then when I sort of stopped having to use it for work, I did kind of fall off of it for a bit. But I think I can vouch for sort of anybody that has a Facebook account, that when you go onto that Facebook account and you see just raw, unedited, natural photos and memories that you have seen of yourself or friends or comments that someone had left you from 3 years ago, it instantly brings a joy to your face. You don't get that with Instagram. You don't get that with the TikTok. You don't get that with the Twitter. Like, one thing Facebook has kept well is the close-knit family structure. Everyone says, oh, I only ever go on Facebook because it's got my family on there. Yes, because the family and the close friends are the ones that are sharing the memories. They're sharing the old comments. They're sharing the love, basically. So for me, I completely agree. I do always still go onto Facebook every day and sort of have a little look at what's come up on there. But for me personally, going onto that, being a part of the running group on the community, it's incredible. The first thing that I was sitting on the bus when we were coming home from Dover a couple of weeks ago, I was like, should I put the photos on Spond or should I just chuck them straight on Facebook? And everyone was like, Facebook! Like, it's a community and it's fun. And you look through those photos and you don't look at them and think, oh God, I look awful in that. You think, that was a really, really bloody good day.
And you have times. You have optimum times to it. Like, my optimum time tomorrow will be like, I'll sit down, start work tomorrow on a Saturday morning at about 10:30, 11 o'clock.
After part
run, and I'll get on and I'll just look at everybody's part run. Where they right, who's been where today?
Who's been where? That's it.
You know.
Yeah.
And that's like the big thing. And also, and sort of Sunday lunchtime as well.
Yeah, after race.
Cool. Smash 16 miles. Cool. Southend, they've done 20 miles in 2.5 hours, or you know, and just you have them optimal times where you can catch up and see what everybody's doing.
Jatilla's on to something there. I really like what you just said about you go on Facebook to connect with your family. And I don't think I'm overstepping the mark. It is like a family in terms of what we've created. You know, it's even to the point where, because I don't like the fact, Hayden, it's all right, I'll be gentle. I don't like the fact that everybody just bans the word community around. It's like, it's like shakeout runs, community, this and that. All these buzzwords, right? And I don't like that, the fact, because it's just there for marketing. I like the fact, and I love the fact, actually, the fact that we are genuinely a family, right? And people genuinely care about each other on there. And some people never met each other, but they genuinely care, you know. And Hayden, I reckon we should change it to the 40 Runs Running Family and get rid of community, because it is ultimately it is. But actually, it is more like a family, and it's funny because I've seen some comments in there about my mum and dad, and I will take a second because people don't realise, but you know, my mum and dad, bless them, apart from the fact that, and Hayden like sympathy, but you know, they have to deal with me, right, and all this madness that I create, and they are incredible, supportive, and amazing, and they do a lot for the club. I mean, a lot for the club. And they're both retired. They thought, oh, this is going to be lovely. Oi, we'll go down the beach, we'll go down South End, get some food, go down to Bowls Cup. No, she's on there, putting more members on the laptop. Lovely, please send them our way. And that's what they're doing, and he is so into it. Like me and him will have rows. Hayden can tell you about, what we should do and shouldn't do. They sat there at the National Running Show when we did that rave run, and they stood there for the best part of an hour, freezing their what's-its off. They're close to both of them, like 78 years old, looking after everybody's bags and coats because they're so invested in you guys and everything to do. So I've got to give them a shout out. And the last thing I'm going to do two things. I'm going to thank Hayden, and I'm going to thank everybody. No, I am. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass for a change, and all the satellite leaders, but Hayden in particular with the Brooks thing and admin, because it never would have happened without their support. And this is not, I'm being serious for once. The support he gives me, and admin gives me, and everybody else, the main people that I always go to in terms of, Tobe and Si and people like that, in terms of, having to manage me. It means a lot, yeah, and I don't get the kudos. People don't understand the decisions that I'm always, getting told to go here, go there for the benefit of the community and the club. And these people are amazing. That they do not get the love they do, but from me as much, right? So just hands up. And the last person I'm going to thank is my wife, because honestly, can you imagine being married to me? Can you imagine?
No.
Just sit there, right, for 3 seconds. He's always acting, right? He's always filming. He's always got about 150 pairs of shoes. Just looking to my left, there's 4 pairs sitting here in 4 boxes. Can you imagine what it's like being in this household with me? She's looking after the kids and doing everything and just supporting me. I'll go, yeah, I'm off out to do 20 hours. Oh, yeah, see you in a couple of hours. Not even like nothing. I mean, seriously, right? So none of this 40 runs, but couldn't happen without her. Because I tell you, she actually ain't put me in that thing she's dug for me to go in there.
Still time though, mate.
I think that she's waiting for the insurance. So I think, I got told by my therapist today I shouldn't keep apologising for stuff I say. I should own it, right? So I'm not going to apologise for this episode. That some of you might find absolute tut, but I don't care, because it's really important that we stop right now and recognise this moment in time. This podcast has got 200 episodes. Think how many people that we've touched, right? And I can give you the stats. It will blow your mind. We've not told everybody that we've got 1 million downloads or stuff, because we're not into that. We don't care. We're not doing this to get presence on social media. Yeah, we're not doing this because this is a business. We're doing this because we like sitting here talking about running, and we like connecting with you guys. All right, that's genuine, and that's straight up. You can crack on with everything else in terms of commerciality, but we wanted to stop and just take stock of what everybody has achieved, whether you are from being here from the very beginning, and like Kim said the other week when she said about the National Running Show, when it was like 15 of us for the first meetup, or like me, Hells, and the captain, and everybody else, in those first few meetups that we did, and all this sort of stuff, all the way through to like Alan and Karen and what they've done with Extreme Park Run, and all those nutters who went to Dover, all the way through. It needs it, in a moment like this, where we've done this thing with Brooks, and we hope, and we've done it to try and improve people's lives through running and well-being through running. That's what we've done this for. So there's no financial thing in this. This is just purely about bringing what we do to even more people. And honestly, I can't thank everybody enough. So yeah, it's a podcast I think we needed to do. I'm glad that these guys were here to share it with me. I'm glad that you lot were listening live and got involved. Apologies, we've not read everything out. There's just so much in the comments tonight. We thank you very much. We appreciate it. I think next week. What is next week? Who's on next week? Am I on?
I think so. I'm back next week. I might be back next week.
We will be adding more value next week than you've ever.
Yeah, we'll have to
before.
think of something to talk about.
Nah, we won't. We're just heroes. We'll just think about
40 runs. Yeah, longrunshirt@gmail.com. Smash the email.
Hayden,
send us your stuff.
You take us out, bruv, tonight. I think you need to part on our listeners and viewers some ultimate sort of knowledge, power, empowerment, and love to take us out.
for everyone that follows us at the moment, just please keep doing what you're doing. Just keep being there for each other. And for those of you that aren't involved, if it's your first time you listen to the pod, we've never heard of us before, go over to our socials, have a look at 40 Runs, Facebook, Instagram, get involved and help others enjoy their running experience.
Lovely way to finish it, isn't it, guys? Thank you very much, everybody, for listening tonight, taking us out on your run with you. I'm now going to drink this can of Coke that I've got here because I'm a legend. And if they want to sponsor the pod, we should see you all next week for more fun and games, people, on this award-winning podcast.
Night.
See you later.